Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of All Things Fantasy Sci-Fi here on Mcubed. As always, I'm your host, Schmook. So in this video, we're going to be reviewing episode 6 of Foundation, episode 3 of Invasion. So let's just get right into it. So with episode 6 of Foundation, we get a lot more background information as well as just like current events with Brother Day / Dawn, which I believe this Brother Dawn is a past version of the Brother Day that we are currently following. I could be wrong on that. Again, I'm a little confused by it, or Brother Day has just grown up significantly since we saw him in the pilot. But Brother Dusk is growing quite suspicious of Brother Dawn within this episode. Like, there's a scene where they're hunting, blah, 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 where Brother Dawn is an excellent hunter. He kills like 6 of these things. And Brother Dawn, he throws away 3 of them, just make it seem like he only killed 3 for some reason. I didn't really quite understand that part. But Brother Dusk says, "Oh, you tied my record of 3." He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You're a pretty good hunter." But he's still questioning a little bit, specifically with the scene where he has this woman in his room, and they're like, she wants to, or she's like programmed or whatever to just like have sex with him. But instead he just talks to her the whole time instead. So Brother Dusk he's growing a little suspicious of that. We see Brother Day talking to some people, like kind of like to build more of like a strong connection with this other world, like good ties with the Empire, where he offers them like clean water towards the end. It's interesting, interesting subplot. The real plot of this episode has to do on Foundation on Terminus, where we follow the Warden, where she is captured by those like those hunter people or whatever. She's like she's locked up. 2 kids, like, because of course in the end of episode 5 we see that they're like raiding attacks on the village, so it goes into that a little bit more, where we see like these soldiers going through killing people, and we see these kids, and they are able to escape, and they're able to free the Warden from where she's being kept, and they're able to get out of there. And with the kids, the Warden runs into her father as well as her boyfriend, and their whole goal is to try to stop to destroy these ships, which are like warships, right? And which have the potential to destroy planets. So that's the main point of this episode. It eventually gets to a point where they just want to leave because the Empire's on their way, like the people who are attacking the village. Unfortunately, before that, when they're blowing up these ships, the Warden's father dies. And it's sad. Sad little scene. Man, when we get to the very end of the episode, and her boyfriend is literally held at gunpoint, but he switches controls of the ship over to the Warden. So that's used as leverage to keep him alive and her alive, because she doesn't know how to fly a ship, and she's like, "You have to keep him alive, he has to be my co-pilot, or we're not going to get far." So they eventually have to get on this ship, and they have to go. And that's basically the end of the episode. So far, this was an okay episode. Of course, it dives a little bit more into what the plot is all about, like what it's all leading to. Oh, there's also another scene in there where the Warden has like a vision of like what went down between Gail's boyfriend killing Henry and why he did that, and which I thought was interesting because I've been wanting to see that. Unfortunately, we don't get to see Gail in this episode. I would like to see her soon. I'm just curious how this show just all comes together, because it's definitely like getting to that point. It's all based on how and when, right? But overall, good episode. Not my favorite one, but again, it added a lot of good background information, and of course is all leading up to something where Foundation is just going to be bonkers. Alright, but that's going to be it for episode 6 review. So let's just go right into Invasion. Alright, so Invasion episode 3. So in this episode, we follow most of our main characters currently. For the most part though, I'd say this episode specifically follows the black soldier in Afghanistan who has lost his group. Casper, who is the British kid. I believe I might have called him Jasper in the last video, might be. But yeah, I'm pretty sure his name's Casper, because there's like a cute little line from the girl he likes being like, "Casper the friendly ghost," and he's like, "That's me." But anyway, so I'd say those are the main 2 perspectives in the episode. Of course, we get the one family with the cheating husband and the wife and 2 kids, where they're just like, they're trying to get out of the city. A lot of traffic after all these like bombs or whatever. It eventually gets to a point of her just stealing some random couple's car. That's basically their whole plot line, not a lot there. Then of course we have the Japanese woman who's in Japan. She breaks into JASA, where the government apparently is taking complete control, and so she steals like this document or whatever and goes into a computer lab where she's able to lock herself in with her one co-worker, and they're going through the footage of the ISS, the International Space Station, where her girlfriend dies at the end. And they find out at the end of the episode, or the end, I believe it's like the very end of the episode, she's playing that footage and she hears a voice in the background. She slows it down, she hears like something being said. And we're definitely going to learn more about that in time, I'm sure. But that's really it for those two storylines. But the storylines that I really want to get into is the black man in Afghanistan, the soldier, and then the British kids who crashed on a bus, right? So I really enjoyed these two storylines. So in Afghanistan, the black man, he awakens to some like local waking him up, and he's freaked out after what he just saw, because he just saw like an alien ship like just create an explosion and probably killed most of his crew, right? But like it's just like I really enjoyed that whole sequence, specifically because it was just this man who's like he speaks American, right, or English, right? And he's talking to this Arab guy who does not speak a lick of English, and obviously the soldier, he doesn't understand what he's speaking either. But like they're just going deep into certain things, like talking about the stars, like talking about like their past lovers. They don't understand a single word they're saying, but they're on the same page. It's just like two bros just broing down. And it was a heartfelt moment, because like the Arab man, he's just talking about, I believe, his wife or girlfriend, or maybe daughter. I wasn't really sure on that. But just saying how he lost her, like she's dead now, and he like got really emotional, and then like they just start singing and stuff. And I'm just like, that was an awesome sequence. Like I am really digging this show. Like Foundation, I really like. It's more deeper, intellectual type of show. Invasion's a show I'm all about, like where it's like the character stuff is strong in the show. Like we're not even getting that much of the alien stuff yet, and I'm just like, once it gets into that, I'm gonna be like, whoa. Like what I really like about the show as a whole is just like the character interactions, and it seems like it's the end of the world happening, and they all have like somewhat a feeling of it, but it's just like seeing how these humans interact like during this crisis, right? But anyway, to get to the British kids, it's right after they crash. There's a whole scene of Casper like making a fire, whatnot, and the one bully kid he's trying to be like sentimental, whatnot, and Casper starts telling him a story about like his mom and how his dad beat her and whatnot, and the boy like literally flips like a switch like that. He's like, now I have leverage over you, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Like this kid's just an asshole, and like he's even trying to do like a whole like Lord of the Flies type situation and be like, who's in charge here? I'm gonna be in charge. But they're like, let's vote for it. And like if he didn't get enough votes, it was just, I don't know, man. It was a good sequence with those characters. I'm really liking these kids. And their bus driver, who's their teacher, got severely hurt in this crash, where everyone else might have like maybe a concussion or a few bruises or cuts. This teacher, like, definitely, he is stuck in the bus. He has like some type of like pipe or switch like through his leg. He has a huge cut somewhere that's bleeding heavily, and they just have to figure that out. But that's really it. Again, Invasion, I've been really digging. Again, like if I'm liking one more than the other, I think Foundation is a show I like, and I feel like I'll like more once we get towards the end of it. It's a lot of build up. Characters are good though in that show, and like obviously the effects are unbelievable. And Foundation, or Invasion, I mean, have solid effects, but it's not really a very effects driven show. But the quality is really good. The characters I am loving, though. Absolutely loving these characters, their storylines, like what they're doing. Like, it's just awesome to see these multiple different scenarios with all these characters. But like, they're all going to become like a hive mind of some sort, where they're all going through the same stuff. You know, like literally an alien invasion is happening, and they're all just like, holy crap. Like, it's like how we would be, you know, like we'd be in complete chaos if that ever happened. But alright guys, I think that's really going to be it though, because I think I went over everything I really want to talk to y'all about in this review. I highly recommend both these shows. Again, I say try to catch up on Invasion, because I am running through it. I am loving that show. Foundation, I'm getting towards the end of it. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about Foundation and Invasion. I really want y'all to check these shows out, because I am loving them. Alright guys, I will catch y'all really soon. Bye bye.